We are Expedia Cruises, and we are more than just cruise vacations. Whether it's custom vacation packages, tours, all-inclusive resorts, or flights, hotels, and activities, we are here to plan, book, and safeguard every leg of your journey. Visit ExpediaCruises.com and we will help you secure your travel by phone, online, or at an Expedia Cruises location in your neighborhood, where you can get the advice you seek, no matter what your dream vacation might be, air, land, or sea. Expedia Cruises, air, land, and sea vacations.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Expedia Cruises Extraordinary Experiences event. I'm your host, Corey Andrechuk, Senior Manager of Sales Performance, speaking to you from our corporate office in beautiful downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Before I get into some Zoom housekeeping, I would like to say you're in for really a special treat today in so many fronts. Not only are we talking about bucket list destinations, experiences, memories to last a lifetime, but we've assembled some of the very best speakers in the cruise and travel industry to share secrets about extraordinary luxury cruising experiences. Plus, we'll host a fireside chat after they're done with all three presenters, digging into health and safety onboard protocols per cruise line. Very relevant, very valuable in how you make these decisions to cruise and travel down the road. So stay tuned for the next hour. We promise to deliver on our own extraordinary experience online on Zoom with you today. Now, as we talk about housekeeping, if you've been on our calls before, we've been known to host some videos. And so if you have a couple of tech troubles, try logging out and in. But if the video might pause a little bit, wait it out. It usually kicks in and works after a moment. So be patient with that. Number two, adjust your view icon on the top. On the browser, you might not have this option, but if you do, you have a chance to see a little bit more of us or a little bit less of us. It's up to you, you choose. We have a small team of Expedia Cruise experts in the background with me today. They're ready to answer any questions that you might have. So chat away. Feel free to engage in any questions. We'll do our best to help you out. We're here to follow up as well. This event recording will be available within 24 hours online, but encourage you to stay close to your Expedia Cruises vacation consultant with any questions after this presentation. Now, I do have three quick slides to tell you about. It's our story before I get to introduce our VIP guests today. I promise to be brief and be gone. Number one, you should know that we're so much more than cruise. We like to describe ourselves as that what we do best is navigating spectacular vacations by air, land, or sea. Our 5,500 vacation consultants serve you and help you explore every option and make the most of those dream vacations that you're planning. So call us, click on our website, or visit any one of our 267 locations, our centers across North America. Number two, we, like you, are part of the community. We love serving our community members. We're all full of pride ourselves in helping you navigate with friendly advice, we like to say. As fellow travelers, we're passionate about giving you the advice, helping you travel from one gateway to the next, firsthand from our personal experience. We're passionate travelers who love to share our experiences. So take advantage of our personal, local, regional expertise, allowing you to have that peace of mind when booking travel. Finally, our last slide is around our promise. This is what we're known for. We like to bring to you advice that you can trust, the best choice, the best prices. Our Expedia Extras, it's onboard cash credit, it's Expedia stateroom offers, reduced deposits. We're more than cruise, like I said, and we just love to emphasize that we're always there for you. What that means is that our advice is helping you set up those dream vacations before, during, and after. We're always with you along the way. All right. Now, as I get into one of my favorite parts of presentations like this is to deliver our guest speakers, our VIP suppliers. These are individuals that work very closely with us. And I want to introduce the first of three today. Please welcome to the Expedia Cruises Zoom stage, our friend from Regent, Seven Seas Cruises, Miss Chanel Knight. Chanel, are you there?
Hello, Corey. Greetings from Miami, Florida.
Take it away, Chanel.
Thank you so much, and welcome to everyone on today's event. We're super excited to share with you to talk about all travel has to offer when it comes to ocean cruising. We are excited about the resumption of cruising worldwide, and we encourage you to get excited and be ready for what we all have to offer. Of course, our world looks so different, but you can rest assured there are many of our brands like Regent. As we continue on through the presentation on the next slide, we offer so many amazing and extraordinary experiences. So today we're going to take an adventure throughout Alaska. We're just going to talk about how Regent is different. This product differentiates itself from many in our same space as luxury. We all offer amazing options. But when it comes to Regent, how unique the brand is, how you can engage with our crew, and it's simply sailing. It's like being on your own private yacht as you sail all throughout Alaska and have more extraordinary adventures. Next. So I just want to make sure if you're familiar with the product or you're on the fence and saying, well, post-pandemic, can Regent continue to deliver an unrivaled experience with all they've offered in the past? Rest assured that still continues on today, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we focus on the true immersion, which is why many of you seek our product because of the many hidden jewels we travel to all throughout the world. Alaska happens to be my feature on tonight, and I get excited talking about Alaska because it truly is a bucket list experience. We look for the adventure, we look to explore, and it's such a beautiful place to explore and just embrace and engulf all it has to offer, the wonderful people, but to do it from sea. Of course, you should do it from land. I encourage you always to do both because you have options, right? We all love choices, but understand that Regent is going to never, ever under deliver our promises that we have to you, from our unrivaled experience to our unrivaled space at sea, which many treasure most, of course, in a post-pandemic world. You'll hear us all say that because we want you to understand that we're not taking this lightly. It's, of course, our guest safety and security has always been the #1 priority of cruising. And we realize cruising can be confusing. So that's why we want you to stay close to your vacation consultant as we all continue on throughout our presentations, but know that still the brands can still deliver an extraordinary experience, especially when it comes to our amazing crews delivering extraordinary service, being able to connect with each and every one of you in unique ways. It's so interesting, and how I can't wait until the later part of the fireside chat to share some amazing stories that many of my friends have experienced with their families while traveling on Regent. Next. So, as I mentioned earlier, something that we all are concerned about these days, space. So when you're sailing with Regent, just imagine sailing with about 699 other guests, including when yourself would be 700. So it's like being on your own private yacht, ample space to move about and enjoy yourselves without any feeling as if you're part of a herd and feeling as if you're overwhelmed. So you still have that extraordinary experience and adventure there. Of course, the evenings will continue as they all have with onboard entertainment. We're not discounting or pulling back on any of that. You can expect the full experience. In addition to that, of course, with more new experiences on state-of-the-art vessels, as many of us talk about our products on tonight. And again, that extraordinary service from our crew where they can connect with each and every one of you in unique ways. And of course, the cuisine, we all look forward to that amazing cuisine when sailing at sea. That will continue from our world-class chefs. Next. When it comes to your home away from home, as you know, Regent boasts some amazing suites when it comes from whether it's our verandas onto the Regent suite, the ship that happens to sail to Alaska, the destination which I'm featuring, does not feature the Regent Suite. The Regent Suite is up to 4,000 square feet, ladies and gentlemen. She boasts some amazing options. I encourage you to work with your vacation consultant to determine which suite fits your needs or your objectives, or whomever may be traveling with you on that particular voyage. But I can rest assured you will not feel slighted of any way. You can expect to have one of the most restful sleeps at sea, and during some of what is, and we believe is, the finest in terms of marble, in terms of the artwork, onto the plush linen and china, etc. I mean, it just goes on and on with the pampering. Something we are super excited about when it comes to our vessels and all that they boast. And it's all throughout the entire fleet. Yes, I'm focusing on one destination. Mariner happens to be my favorite vessel. She has a soul and she's so special to me. However, you can rest assured all 5 ships just super, we deliver on such an extraordinary level. I mean, raising the bar exceptionally high. You definitely won't be slighted. Of course, I always encourage the vacation consultants, when working directly with each and every one of you, to ask, which credit card would you like to use today as we secure your Regent Suite? So we look forward to welcoming you on board as we continue on throughout our presentation. So yes, Regent travels all throughout the world. You can go on to the next slide. I still just wanted to share that quickly. We're not dialing back. What we've done is just our resumption to cruising. Here's a schedule quickly here so you guys can see. We're super excited to bring Seven Seas Splendor on as the First Lady, September 11th. We're happy about the recent announcement from the UK. I won't talk too much about that until I get into the fireside chat with Corey on what's changing, but keep in mind this is a very fluid environment we live in, so there are changes. Be patient, understand it's far out of our control, but rest assured, work with your vacation consultant, and rest assured we'll keep you abreast of all that is happening. Next slide should be our video as we talk more about Alaska.
Why do we travel to Alaska? Because every time you look, you get a different view. Because no lens can capture what it feels like to sail this close to a glacier. Because the mountain peaks are more majestic than you realize. Because a helicopter ride soaring above them is on your bucket list. Because there's so many things you haven't tried yet. Because a glimpse into the untouched landscape is exactly what you needed. Because something they will never forget is exploring a national forest or walking over it. Why travel to Alaska? Because you can watch bears play and hear eagles soar overhead. Because the locals want to share their history and culture. Because the good things in life are everywhere. And with free, unlimited shore excursions, you can explore all Alaska has to offer.
Awesome. You see, I could not have done that destination justice. Nature's majesty is so extraordinary. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Next slide. So in talking about full immersion, it's just amazing. And I want to point out, when it comes to Regent Seven Seas Cruises, and one of the key differentiators is the components of the unlimited shore excursion. So rest assured, you still have advantages to explore and enjoy as much as you possibly would like to. Of course, from the inclusive excursion options that are available, in addition to our Regent Choice excursions, if it's something more private you may want, as to take a helicopter and land on top of a glacier, that's your option. Again, work closely with your vacation consultant, and rest assured Regent can deliver or supersede your expectations. But understand you'll still have all the options available to you all throughout the ports of calls as we visit Alaska. And I tell you, you have so much of an opportunity on these vessels that travel. I think the ship is just the right size. You can disembark your vessel in like half an hour and enjoy the full time you have in Alaska. So that's a huge benefit for you, especially if many of us have been home for the last 18 months. It's definitely well worth the while to visit and enjoy, again, the majesty of nature. Next slide. So a very new comparison slide I wanted to share. You can work closely with your vacation consultant on this, but it's just to connect the dots when you understand the offering of Regent Seven Seas Cruises, so that when you see that offering out there, you understand what our story is about in terms of all the inclusive components that we deliver with every luxury included. Of course, for air, right now there's a promotion with first class air to Alaska. As you know, this is a domestic destination, so we usually just have economy air. So now there's a first class air promotion that's currently on through the end of August 31st. It expires. Next, we'll go on to another destination. But as you can see, all the other inclusive components makes for a hassle-free vacation, and something I guarantee you will enjoy. I'll have an opportunity to take new photos, make new memories, and definitely make some new friends of a lifetime. Next slide. I talked about briefly the first class air promotion. Again, make sure you work with your vacation consultant at Expedia Cruises. The promotion does include Canada and New England as well. Don't want to leave that out. Since my focus was primarily on Alaska, it's a lot to do in just 10 minutes. And as Corey knows, I can get lost in the essence of what I offer, what I promote, and how I love travel, especially when visiting Alaska by land and sea. So I encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, if Alaska you visited before, revisit it. I'm sure you can find more ways to explore and make new memories with your friends, family, or just get out, just enjoy yourself. If you're a solo traveler, make sure you're working closely with your vacation consultant, because there are many changes all throughout the industry, and they are your expert, and they really are waiting for you to connect with them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chanel. That was so fantastic. I love the language that you use. So many good things in life in Alaska. Majestic in so many ways. So we are moving to our second speaker, our second VIP guest from Silversea Cruises. Please welcome to the Expedia Cruises Zoom stage, Christian Sirielta. Christian, take it away.
Thank you, Corey, and thank you very much for the opportunity to share the Silversea story. We are delighted to work with Expedia Cruises and their incredible, talented vacation consultants, which not only can find you the perfect Silversea cruise, but they will also offer you an exclusive Expedia discount on all the voyages that we offer. Before we move to the next slide, I just want to tell you a little bit about the video you're about to see. This video is from Steve McCurry. We partner with Steve McCurry. He's a great photographer. You've probably seen his work. Probably the most known work that he has is, if you can recall, in the 80s, there was a beautiful picture of a green-eyed Afghanistan girl in the cover of the National Geographic magazine. And so I hope you enjoy it. Please play the video.
It's when all your senses become aware. You are present, in focus. That's traveling to me. It's an urgent need to go and observe this world that we all share. A ray of light, a pair of eyes that tell a story, an instant of perfection. Images printing on your soul. This is authentic beauty. It's all out there, and trust me, there's always room for discovery.
I really like this video because it speaks to the true traveler. and that is that we are really all just, we all share this beautiful world, and we are all curious to discover it. And so this is what Silversea does. A little bit about our company is that we are a small boutique company that originated in Italy. It was owned by the Lefebvre family from Rome until 2 years ago. And we kept the business brand course intact for the past 25 years. And that is to take you to the authentic beauty of the world in perfect comfort. That's what we are set to do. That's what we want to do if you pick one of our cruises. Silversea is a leader of global destinations with more than 900 unique destinations on all 7 continents. Our beautiful boutique ships have the perfect balance of a yacht-like intimacy combined with the space and amenities of a larger ship. Here is a beautiful image of the Silver Wind going through the London Bridge. And for those that are on board, it is an amazing scene. However, if you're stuck on the car as you're trying to cross, this is a very bad day. But like this, there are many other ports that we go to. For example, if you're thinking of a Baltic cruise, why not pick a Silversea cruise so you can have this beautiful experience here at London Bridge? But imagine if you're going to the Baltic and you want to see St. Petersburg. Our ship is in St. Petersburg 3 days, 2 nights, most of the time. And when we dock, we don't dock in the main port. We are docking just a few blocks from St. Petersburg. And so that's the Silversea experience, and it's due to the size of the ships. Not everybody can claim that. We have very small boutique ships, which I will be sharing with you in a little bit. Next slide. And this is a great image of the Silversea core. Our DNA is destinations. When you see these white dots, that is our classic fleet. We have 2 fleets. We have an expedition fleet and a classic fleet. And so these are where we are going with our 9 ships. So imagine, you can basically cover every corner of the world. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the Med, which is on the next slide. And Silversea will help you discover or rediscover the fascinating coastline with the beautiful beaches, the Pinterest harbors. We want to definitely take you into deeper and immerse you into this beautiful destination. There's beautiful culinary experiences and cultural discoveries that only the Met have for you. So our goal is to help you discover the Mediterranean secrets through the eyes of a local. Next slide. As you can see from this picture, there's a couple of things that are very special. For us, what makes Silversea special in the Mediterranean is 3 things: unparalleled destination knowledge. Thanks to our Mediterranean heritage, we create an experience for you to explore the best spots of our home. So we pick beautiful ports from all over the Mediterranean, from Spain, Portugal, Greece, you name it. We cover 100 destinations and 23 countries in the Mediterranean Sea. So one of the things that I personally enjoy is we normally don't have your typical 7-day rotation. We're always moving from one, whether we're going east or west in the Mediterranean Sea. So when we arrive into these smaller ports, it's just Silversea and maybe another cruise. So you have the place for yourself. And that is the experience that we want to provide. Next slide. Here, you will find our fleet. We're talking about 9 ships right now. Consequently, today, or actually not today, yesterday, we had a naming ceremony of our newest ship, the Silver Moon. And that is a ship that holds 596 guests. As you can see here, we have ships that have 100 guests, which is an expedition ship in the Galapagos. We have a couple of ships that are under 400 guests, which are our world cruise ship. And they are one of the most favorite out of the entire fleet. They are very intimate, and our clients like the intimate feeling of a smaller ship. And then we have the new generation ships, which is the Silver Spirit, the Silver Muse, and the Silver Moon. And just to tell you a little bit about the ships, we call it the new generation ships, mainly because, yes, they are a little bit bigger, but there's a big reason behind it. We feel that today people just want to enjoy the comfort of the ship, but also experience the great culinary programs that we have. And so these ships have 8 gourmet restaurants. Now, this is unheard of in the cruise industry because the size of the ship, normally you hear about having these many restaurants when you are in a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 passenger ship, never on a ship that holds under 600 guests. So imagine, this is just a great amenities, large ship amenities on a small boutique vessel. Next slide. I want to talk a little bit about our all-inclusive experience. And this is basically the Silversea difference. This shot is of a butler. And you may say, well, butlers, that's great. I want to have one, but how much do I have to pay for one? And in reality, butlers are everywhere on Silversea. From the least expensive suite to the most expensive, it doesn't matter where you are, you have the same great experience because we have butlers in every suite. The next slide shows you our standard suite. As you can see, it is beautiful, it is spacious, and it's very, very comfortable. I personally, I want to tell you a little bit about my personal butler experience. And I was in the Greek Isles. I was in Santorini, and I remember my butler said, "What are you going to do today, sir?" And I said, "Well, I have a lot of things I want to do. I want to have wine by the volcano, and then see if I can get me one of those motorcycles and cross the island and have a nice Greek salad and have great food overseeing the ocean." And I was able to do all of that. But he said, "Wow, it's going to be a hot day and a hard day. What time are you planning to come back?" And I said, "Well, I want to be back maybe 3 hours before dinner so I can relax, take a shower, rest a little bit." And he said, "Well, if you come, try coming around 4:35. We want to have a little surprise for you." So me and my wife, we went out, we had a great time. We were exhausted. And I remember saying to myself, I really want to take a nap. I really want to rest. And what ended up happening is that when we got to the suite, our butler prepared us a bath, a beautiful bath with rose petals and oils and salt, sea salt. And that was just uncalled for. We weren't ready for it. We loved it. And that's what a butler can do on your suite. It's just something really special.
Hey, Christian, I
Yes.
hate to interrupt, but we have to carve out a little bit time for our third presenter and then bring you back for our fireside chat.
No problem.
I feel terrible because your story was so intoxicating and you had us just wrapped around your finger with this, as you described, the authentic beauty of Silversea Cruises. Your image that you imprinted is forever left on my soul. I want to just confirm.
No problem, Corey. This is great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our third VIP guest here is Amy Price. And Amy is a dear guest and friend of ours, no stranger to the stage of Expedia Cruises. Please welcome Amy Price.
Thank you so much, Corey. We're so excited to be here today with Expedia Cruises and all of your guests. So I just want to give a shout out because each of these brands represented today do an amazing job delivering extraordinary luxury vacation experiences worldwide. And I want to congratulate Christian and Chanel for having fantastic products to showcase to the Expedia Cruise client today. But of course, I think we've saved the best for last. But Seabourn, I want to touch on, is an ultra luxury brand with a fleet of 5 ships and soon to be 2 expedition vessels that'll be joining our fleet. In all, they have oceanfront suite. It's an all oceanfront suite product with an all-inclusive experience in an ultimate small ship experience. But beyond the ship with Seabourn, we really focus on delivering the destinations to our guests by visiting harbors and far off places, really trying to make those destinations come to life. And today, what I want to focus on is the uniqueness of our destinations and share with you the opportunities that we afford our guests who really want to explore the world in ultra luxury style on extraordinary itineraries that really are designed with an eye to feature some of the most compelling destinations in the world through our grand and world cruise itineraries. So over the past year and a half, I'm sure many of you have not had the opportunity to vacation, and it's likely that you've been saving money and accumulating vacation time, and that's why we're here today. And I'm sure you're looking for several great excuses to drum up a conversation with your Expedia vacation consultant. So our 2022 Grand Pacific Cruise may be the ticket for you to consider as you re-enter vacation mode. Beginning on September 22nd, out of Vancouver or Seattle, this 65-day journey takes you on an extensive tour of the South Pacific Islands. Highlights include the Hawaiian Islands, Bora Bora, Papeete, Moorea, and of course the eastern coast of Australia, just to name a few of the destinations that we'll be visiting. Along the way, there will be a multitude of opportunities to partake in what we call our Ventures by Seabourn program and interact with our expedition staff. And if you can't partake full 65 days, we do have 2 segments you might want to consider, and those are the Seattle to Papeete or from Papeete to Sydney. So with 65 days on board, our team members on board will no doubt have a multitude of opportunities to deliver Seabourn moments to our guests. Now, what is a Seabourn moment? Well, they are unexpected extra touches that our onboard team members are able to execute by really getting to know guests and surprising them with little experiences that might be as simple as a chilled towel poolside, your favorite drink prepared in anticipation of your arrival dinner, or maybe an aromatherapy bath drawn in your suite, or maybe just experiencing the fun signature experience of our Cabin in the Surf event, or enjoying a day in the sun during one of our marina days. It's these types of extra little touches that make the Seabourn vacation experience even more memorable on board with us. Now, in addition to the 22 Grand Cruise, we have our 22 Grand Americas, or 2023 Grand Americas. Sorry, I just noticed this slide says 2022. It should be 2023 Grand Americas, Amazon, and Antarctica. And you can join us for this Grand Cruise and have a completely different experience as we explore the Grand Americas, Amazon, and Antarctica. So on this cruise, it's a 79-day itinerary that circumnavigates South America with one of the most comprehensive voyages to be found. The itinerary includes a Panama Canal transit and a visit to Panama City. There are several immersive once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, such as our Seabourn Journeys programs, overland to the Galapagos Islands and the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Machu Picchu. Exploration of one of the continent's greatest natural monuments is also included on this as we sail through the Chilean fjord, Patagonia, with stunning vistas and awe-inspiring glaciers. And this is all supported by our onboard expeditions team. On our Grand and our World voyages, during some segments, we offer Ventures by Seabourn. And this is really an enhancement to our shore experiences with our expedition team. And on the 2023 Grand Cruise, we have a full Antarctica program with landings and 2-day visits to both South Georgia and the Falkland Islands, forming the most immersive and comprehensive Antarctic experience we offer. Additionally, on the 2023 Grand Cruise, we feature an Amazon experience supported as well by the expedition team that explores the Amazon rainforest with its unparalleled biodiversity and of course the grandness which can only be felt in person in the Amazon. The bookend to the 2023 Grand Cruise is a relaxing week in the Southern Caribbean with a highlighted beach barbecue at Carambola Beach, which is a signature Seabourn event. Now, if the 2023 Grand Cruise isn't long for you, we are excited once again to offer World Cruise voyages. And our 2023 World Cruise truly is an exceptional and very special experience with us. This itinerary begins in Miami on January 6th of 2023, and it's 140 days that will take you on a journey westward through the Panama Canal, touching the northwest corner of South America before heading to Easter Island, one of the most remote places on the planet. And then you'll continue your journey through the South Pacific for a circumnavigation of Australia, through the Indian Ocean, where you'll follow the coastline of Africa before ending your journey in Barcelona on 24th. So to put this into perspective, you can see in the following slide that there is a vast amount of geography that is covered with a heavy focus on the southern hemisphere, sorry. Of course, if timing doesn't afford you the ability to experience the entire cruise in its entirety, you might be interested in one of the many segments that we have available. And I will say our entire world cruise is pretty much sold out, so space is really limited if you're interested in taking that leap. But we do have featured here a 32-day journey, which is one of our short segments from Miami and ends in Papeete. And each of the following segments that I'm going to show you include this segment, but also continues further westward into the southern hemisphere. So the 59-day itinerary segment leaves from Miami and takes you further into the Pacific, ending your journey in Sydney, with the next segment being 80 days, offering you even more of Australia. So if you choose this next 80-day segment with us, you are going to actually experience half of the world cruise and circumnavigate Australia. But continuing on, we have some additional shorter segments, including our 27-day segment that features the Pacific Pearls. And this is really for those who want that South Pacific experience with tropical islands, amazingly beautiful people on this 27-day segment. And this ends and leads you into the Australian continent, which on our segment that is 21 days, we will circumnavigate the Australian continent. And it is just plain awesome and unique, with locations such as Bunbury and Kangaroo Island, interspersed with capital cities such as Melbourne, Sydney, and Perth. Both southern and western regions of Australia also offer some of the most phenomenal wine country and food. And some of those standouts include Margaret Valley, as well as McLaren Vale. Now, continuing further west, we do feature a 51-day segment that leaves from the Australian continent and heads west through the Indian Ocean, with one of the highlights being a visit to Bali as you touch on South Africa. From there, we do offer a segment that is the second half of the World Cruise journey. And this is an 81-day segment that incorporates both Australia and Africa into one segment. You can also break this segment up into smaller segments, which include a 30-day segment and would be for those that have interest in sailing through the Indian Ocean and experiencing a very small portion of South Africa. Or you might want to consider a segment really that focuses truly on everything that Africa has to offer. And that would be our 30-day segment, focusing on the features of Africa and South Africa and Kenya. Those two destinations end up being the gateway to safari experiences that we offer as part of our Seabourn Journeys programs. West Africa on this itinerary also really brings to life the African experience from a cultural and climatological experience, where you have the opportunity to visit places like Nambi Desert in Walvis Bay, with its original soaring red dunes, and the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Huidi Bay in Benin, where you might also have the opportunity to experience cooking with Ghanaian chefs, or go to a voting ceremony in Togo, or visit James Island in Gambia. The opportunities are immense on this African portion of our world cruise. The journey on this itinerary does end through Cape Verde and the Canaries, which is a special part of Europe, featuring a wide diversity of climates between each of the islands, where one day you might be in a volcanic and arid island, and the next day you could potentially be in a tropical rainforest in this destination. So you've heard me mention a few times throughout these itineraries UNESCO, and this is because Seabourn has an exclusive partnership with UNESCO. We do feature many of these sites on our shore excursions and Seabourn Journeys programs, which are multi-day escorted pre and post overland experiences to you deeper into the destinations. On these experiences, we incorporate UNESCO World Heritage Sites worldwide, and not only on our Grand and World Cruise experiences, but also on our destinations that we offer on our other ships throughout the year. Now, if you do book our World Cruise Seabourn, there are several exclusive benefits that we afford to our World Cruise guests. And these begin with a grand send-off with our President Josh Leibowitz, meeting up in the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Miami, as well as 3 exclusive World Voyage events just for our World Cruise guests, as well as special gifts along the way. And if you book by May 31st of 2022, you'll receive some extra advantages of bonus savings and extra amenities. And the amenities are extensive. All of these wonderful amenities help to make your World Cruise experience with Seabourn even more comfortable as you afford an ultra luxury experience as you travel the world. And if we could show those amenities on that next slide, that would be great. So I hope after understanding what we have to offer by way of World and Grand Cruise itineraries that you'll consider a Seabourn Grand or World Cruise, or maybe just another itinerary in one of the various other destinations that we visit worldwide, and recall that we do really focus on destination as one of our pillars. So one thing I want to leave you with is that as you travel, we know that traveling does leave you speechless, but then it turns into a storyteller. And I hope you'll visit your Expedia vacation consultant and understand their stories and how they've experienced Seabourn and help you plan your next vacation. So I just want to thank all of you for the time today.
That was amazing, Amy. Thank you so much. It's like going to school. I want to say grad school a little bit here, and just getting immersed into geography and luxury at the same time. We're going to invite our previous guests back to our stage, our fireside chat, and pull up a stool, the virtual stool, and kind of hang out here together on stage. I do have to say, you know, Christian, I cut you off a little bit, so I'm going to, in a moment here, get you to talk about that chauffeur experience as well, because I know that there was a slide that we had missed. So we're going to come back to that. Don't let me forget that. But part of the fireside chat here, right, is getting to know a little bit more as we peel back the current landscape of planning cruise and travel in this day and age. You know, what do customers need to know before getting on your ships? Are there any new health policies or requirements that they should be aware of? Let's start with Chanel.
Thank you, Corey. So yes, indeed, as of course our environment is very fluid, we are sticking to the guidelines issued by the CDC. So when it comes to face masks, it's important to either visit our landing page, but I really encourage you to work closely with your Expedia Cruises vacation consultant to stay abreast of what's happening. And again, we realize so much is happening and it changes day to day. So the best advice I could say is please pack some patience. We live in a new world that everyone does not have all the answers to, and that we're doing our best to have less contact in terms of touch-free. Maybe it's through your embarkation process, through signing in advance, going on loading information. Currently, we're still requiring vaccinations, and that is all, of course, the same vaccinations, not a combination. Again, it's very fluid. It is today, but tomorrow, next week, it could be something completely different. So that's the best, I guess, advice I can give at this time without speculating or confusing anyone. And just to say, just be patient. Of course, your health and safety is of most importance, and understand we're not trying to confuse you, because that's not what we wake up to do each and every day.
That's awesome advice. Thank you for enhancing our advice as far as packing patience. Christian, do you have anything to add and enhance that on behalf of Silversea's? You know, what do customers need to know before getting on board your ships?
Well, yes, I think that there's a couple of things. One, I concur 100% with Chanel. Patience, just remember what we say today might be different by the time you sail. So stay current, stay in touch with the professionals at Expedia Cruises. Like we have right now 3 ships on the water. Today was the start of our first Alaska cruise out of Seattle. And depending on the location of the ship, that's how we're going to move forward. At Silversea, 100% vaccinations. So everyone on board, both crew and guests, have to be vaccinated. And so in terms of social distancing, social distancing is happening in the main corridors, in the elevator, but just in a few places. And what we see is that things are relaxing more and more every day. So the best advice is to stay current, to always check before you depart on your cruise.
Great advice. Thank you for just reminding us to implore common sense a lot of times and logic, but to stay current. I really appreciate that reminder. And congratulations from sailing from Seattle. That is wonderful news. Anytime one of our dear ships sets sail again in North America, we all rejoice. Amy, anything from Seabourn that you would like to add as far as what we need to pass on to our customers before they get on a Seabourn ship?
Yeah, I just want to obviously agree with everything Chanel and Christian had to say, but I want to add that I encourage you to trust us, because we are working every day with the mantra that the first and foremost goal that we are trying to obtain is to keep in mind the health, safety, and well-being of our guests, crew, and the destinations that we visit. So we're not going to make decisions that put you, our crew, the places that we visit in danger at all. We are going to be following and trusting the science and the guidance that has been put in front of us and imparting that upon our guests. So yes, pack your patience, because things are changing, and we we do have 2 ships in the water. All of our guests do have to be vaccinated, as well as our crew members. And that is a mandate that we have in place through January 15th of 2022. So we are trying to monitor the situation, and it is fluid, as my predecessors have pointed out. So I just want to end, trust us. We want to be back in water, but we want to be as safe as possible for everyone that we are touching as well.
Yeah, see, this is fantastic. I knew that we would get to the heart of the situation, the facts. It's great to hear how all 3 of you are committing to the approaches that have been reinforced in your websites as well, and what so many of our vacation consultants have communicated as well. Amy, I'm going to stay with you on the second question here. What's an experience on board taking place? You mentioned 2 ships are in operation. What's changed, and help us understand maybe what's also stayed the same on Seabourn.
So what's changed is right now we are operating at a reduced capacity to try and encourage additional social distancing. So I think if you're ever considering cruising on a Seabourn ship, or I'm sure any of our guests that are here today, you're probably never going to have the same experience from a guest to crew ratio because of the reduced capacity. So the service levels are even higher than they ever have before. Just because we have reduced guests on board doesn't mean we have reduced crew on board. We still have maintain the same levels of crew, but the onboard experience is still the same. In fact, it's probably even enhanced even further, because during this downtime of the pandemic, we did take some time to take a look at some of the things that we do on board. How could we do them different? How could we do them better? We've enhanced some of our dining opportunities on board, added some outdoor breakfast options, enhanced some of our cocktail hour options. We've also enhanced some of our entertaining. So we've taken this time to really take a step back and see what we could do even better than we've done before. And I really think we've upped the ante in some respects. As far as the 2 ships that we have in the water right now, I would say the experience in Greece is going to be a bit different from the experience in the Caribbean. Right now, the Protocols in Greece are a little bit more relaxed than what they are in the Caribbean. So guests on board currently are able to enjoy the cruise without masks and like they would normally in Greece, and be able to explore off on their own. In the Caribbean, for the time being, we do still require masks on board, and exploration is limited to seaborne excursions. However, we do have quite an array of excursion options for our guests to choose from. So I think your experience, wherever you travel with us, when you do decide to get back in the water, is going to be as good, if not better, than what we have ever had in the past.
Love it. You're delivering just like the fireside chat is intended to, the details that our listeners are looking for. Thanks for being very specific with Greece and Caribbean. Christian, help us understand as well from Silversea. What's different? What's new? What's thankfully staying the same?
Well, I think the comfort service levels are always staying the same. Nothing has changed in that department. The couple of things that are interesting is, like, for example, as people leave the theater at the end of a performance, they leave in smaller groups. That is the things that are changing. We want people to come to the restaurant through our reservation system. We don't want to see clusters at the entrance. We have a few signs in the elevators that say, take your time, and that's basically it. Everything else is normal, but it is when we are in clusters, whether it's you're leaving the theater, you're entering the restaurant, embarkation, debarkation. That's where there has been some innovations. For example, embarkation. Right now, we are sanitizing all the suites. We're not allowing for early embarkation for the first time in the history of the company. But this is allowing for our staff to clean and sanitize the entire ship for our guests. So now, we are doing all of the pre-documentation before. We are trying, through innovation, to check everybody in through their phones, through their computers before they arrive. So these are the good things that are happening through this pandemic.
Hey, Christian, can I add to that too? Because I think one of the best things that's come out of the pandemic is we don't have to stand outside with life jackets on anymore for the lifeboat drill. I think we've all gone to a virtual lifeboat drill experience, and I don't think any of our guests will complain about that ever.
Yeah, I know, that's a great point, Amy. Hey, Christian, just take a moment as well to talk about the innovations around the chauffeur experience you had alluded to, and I cut you off on the presentation.
Thank you, Corey. Yes. So with Silversea, air is included. The butlers are included. Your shore excursions as of spring of 2022 is included, but we want to take it as further. And, through the pandemic, we were thinking, we really want to make it as easy as possible for our clients. So also for the spring of next year, we're going to take you from your home to the airport. And so the entire vacation is under one roof, where we have total control of it, and it is complimentary. It's through Black Lane. It's a private chauffeur company in town cars. And so that's the idea. We want you to be comfortable. We want this to be an added value to you. And so that was the big reveal. We just announced that a couple of days ago. So thank you for the opportunity, Court.
Yeah, I know. Once again, images imprinted on our souls. That authentic beauty experience starts right from our door, and creating the extraordinary experience that you're known for. Thanks for sharing that. Thank you. Chanel, yeah, just what's different? What stayed the same with your cruise line?
Thank you, Corey. And like my colleagues, we mirror and echo many of the same practices across the entire family. Of course, Regent Seven Seas Cruises, Oceania Cruises, as well as Norwegian Cruise Line. But one thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to embarkation, pre-guest registration is changing. So it's going to be a little more folks, may take a little more time where your client needs to complete this information. And I realize many of the vacation consultants do this on behalf of their client, but it's requiring a little more personal information that they'll have to share. Unfortunately, that's today. It could change by September 11th when we resume cruising. So we're a little later out of the gate than most of my colleagues. Of course, we're sailing across the pond first when we resume cruising. And just like last week, we were leaving from Spain. Guess what? Yesterday, Southampton's back on. So again, when it comes to the changes, it's like, we were kidding. So here we are again. So again, hang in there with us, guys. That's one thing that's changing. Another thing I wanted to talk about, and I'm sure the same is happening on my colleagues' vessels, with the air filtration systems. That has been upgraded to ensure that, of course, we're using state-of-the-art equipment to keep our guests healthy, not just this pandemic, but just overall for your breathing, your health. We're taking advantage of this time of not sailing by dry docking some vessels too, so they can be eco-friendly when they do resume cruising and returning to their runways at sea all throughout the world. And lastly, I wanted to point out when it comes to, like, for instance, where many love to gather in the laundrettes on the vessels. So we were suspending that. Guess what? We're opening them back up. However, we did offer complimentary valet dry cleaning services to all of our guests, no matter the class of suite they decide to book for their vacation option. So there's many changes there. And it's just one to say, guys, understand that we love what we do, and we love you sailing with us, and our crew loves engaging with you. They're going to try to keep it as normal as possible. Space has always worked for Regent, so we talk about an unrivaled space at sea because it's something we've done exceptionally well. I know Christian's family at Silversea has done this exceptionally well, and my friends at Seabourn. So guys, you're safe with us. Not saying you're safe on anyone else, but it's a choice you've made in the past, and it just happened to stick. It's just who we are. So it's like the blessing that we all just realized about ourselves.
It's just so nice to hear, how you've reinforced this luxury experience. The space has always been renowned in the luxury experience. And I'm so happy that you brought up the ventilation. I know this is an innovation that so many, if not all, cruise lines have improved and have innovated to enhance that experience as well. Thanks for addressing the boarding and embarkation process on all your behalfs. It's nice to know that it's seamless, but it's automated, and that it's critical that we pack patience. Though even with those technological innovations that sometimes work and maybe sometimes don't work, that patience will prevail. We do have 2 minutes left before we wrap up. I know Christian gave us some personal experiences about the bathtub and the rose petals as far as a personal extraordinary luxury experience. Amy, is anything in a minute or less popping up as far as a moment, a personal favorite experience of yours?
Yeah, so I'm going to actually reiterate an experience that happened to one of our guests on board one of our world cruises. So as you know, world cruises are quite long, and you can leave home and 6 months later, things have changed drastically, or 4 months later, things changed drastically. Well, in 2020, we had some guests that were on a world cruise, and while they were on board, their daughter found out that she was pregnant. So she actually reached out to their cruise consultant and advised them that, she wanted to let her parents who were on board a Seabourn know that she was pregnant, and how could we go about doing this. So we got the consultant in touch with the ship, who managed to create a surprise for the soon-to-be grandparents at dinner, and they created a cake with a picture of the ultrasound on the cake that they,
Oh my goodness,
they delivered, and then took the little silver tray off of it and presented the cake with the ultrasound and announced that they were going to be grandparents. And I still get chills thinking about it today, because those are just the type of Seabourn moments that we deliver on board, and just try to go that extra mile to make special, whether it's through an Expedia cruise consultant or whether it's directly with the guests. So I just thought I'd share that really quick.
That's so awesome. I knew that was the moment and the experience we were all waiting for. You created that goosebump feeling for us. Chanel, I'll give you the last minute here to wrap up on a personal favorite story. Again, a minute or less.
Thank you, Corey. So in fact, last night I just happened to be with a friend of mine in the industry here at Cruise 360 this week in Hollywood. And I remember when she sailed with her daughter on one of our Mediterranean cruises. And the daughter did not want to take part of the Mariners Children's Program. She did not want to go on a shore excursion. So the crew overheard the mom and the daughter having this discussion. And what they did was take the daughter to host her own private waltz lessons. So she learned how to waltz on board. Wow. With our crew. And it's interesting because now she is 24 years old. And she still tells that story of how amazing that experience was when she traveled with her mom, back when she was such a young kid. And she now knows how to waltz well. So it's something she loves to do. So that's one of the stories that sticks with me. Another quick one, I know we have to wrap up. Well, one of our guests, another friend of mine, she could not open her banana. So she bit it to open the banana. And our crew saw that she tossed it in the garbage and they saw how it was open. So the next time she went to find bananas in her suite, they were sliced so that she could easily open them. So it's just little things that make a major difference. That's not something you could create on your own other than by being attentive. And when you have such an amazing crew to guest ratio of 1 to 1.5, it allows you to have those special moments.
That is, yeah, truly extraordinary. I knew the three of you would deliver and exceeded expectations as professionals. I knew that we were in for a treat and you guys just over-delivered. Thank you so much. So I'm going to ask you, are you ready for an extraordinary experience? I think you are. We think you're ready. We have our vacation consultants standing by waiting to speak with you. If you don't follow up with them who invited you to this event, I know they will be in touch with you to follow up. If this was fun, if you enjoyed this event, we host them just about monthly. Princess 3-Day Sail is a big event that we've annually just knocked out of the park with just an amazing value. That's coming up next month. So make sure you're in touch with your Expedia Cruises vacation consultant for a presentation very similar like this, Tuesday, August 10th. We actually have the president of Princess Cruises sharing an hour of her time with us. So get the scoop from Princess Cruises. And on behalf of 5,500 vacation consultants across 267 centers in North America, we thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you soon on board a luxury cruise ship sometime soon. Have a great night.
Bye. Good night.